Hello and welcome to Chef Talk. My name is Marletha Booker and I'll be your guest host for today. We have an amazing episode lined up in honor of Women's History Month, and I cannot wait for you to meet our panelists. Let's get started. The Art of Women in Hospitality. So we'll just go down the line with introductions, and we'll start with Aslam. If you'll just give us your name as well as a little bit about what you do at Thompson Hospitality.
I'm Aslam Gürses. I'm the operations coordinator.
Hello.
I work with the marketing team, and I work as the bridge between the units on the field, the marketing team, and the operations team at the corporate office.
Vivica Folks. I work at Lincoln University. I'm a board manager. Basically operations manager, handle everything within the unit, payroll, pretty much I do a little bit of everything at the unit right now. So.
Hello everyone, my name is Najat Modar. I started as a general manager in the retail division a couple of years ago with Thompson Hospitality. And I've been a retail director with Thompson Hospitality as well in campus services. And now I am the general manager for the Chick-fil-A at the GW location.
Hello, ladies. My name is Tequila Green. I work for Mississippi Valley State Thompson Hospitality. And my role here, I am a chef, and I'm responsible for putting out great quality food here and in a timely manner. And leading a great team.
Okay, that's great. So let's just go ahead and jump in with a show of hands. Raise your hand if you've always wanted to work in the hospitality industry. What? Just the two of us? Okay. Okay, so Tequila, tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are today.
Well, growing up, I was always ready, to cook. And, I just feel like, food tells a story. It's history. It's what makes culture. It's what makes tradition. And it's art. And that's just something I really love about, hospitality and food.
That is amazing. So we have to hear some stories about those of you who didn't want to work in this industry. Vivica, we'll go with you. Tell us how you got to where you are today.
Well, I started at Lincoln. I started with a previous company about 14 years ago now. I came in as administrative assistant. About 3 years after that, Thompson Hospitality came in. So I've been with Thompson for 10 years. And I came in as an office manager. I was office manager for 6 years. I was starting to move into service as an office manager. So in November 2016, I was offered a promotion to go to board manager, which I did. So I've been board manager for almost 5 years at Lincoln.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So let's dive into a deeper discussion. We all know that the hospitality industry is a male-dominated industry. And so, Najat, I would love to hear from you. Have you found it difficult to excel professionally because you're a woman?
As a woman in a leadership role, it's not really easy in the world. And this is it's go along with all industries, including the hospitality. So sometimes it takes twice the effort of a man if you want to work. I mean, in order to make and improve yourself.
Okay, that's a very good point. I think that, well, I know that you all have different backgrounds and skill sets and different roles. And so do any of you think that there are challenges that women face that men don't have to worry about or don't have to consider or think about at all?
I can say this from my own experience. As a single mom, I have to worry about my son, whereas it prevented me from traveling to the units out of the States because I didn't have anybody to leave my son and I couldn't leave him alone. Also, working at the restaurant, I used to own a restaurant, and I work as a wait staff. I work with my wait staff, and I realized that male customers tend to flirt when there's a female, um, instead of taking them seriously.
So you brought up very interesting points. One, in that women have to consider childcare and things of that nature, and then also that sometimes we're just not taken as seriously as men. And so, Tequila, I would love to hear your perspective. Have you had any challenges that maybe a man doesn't have to think about or deal with?
I just think that men, just like I guess when you go into it, by nature they're more stronger, the aggression, and I just feel like as women we just have to really get in there and prove ourselves and just bring it harder and to prove, that we can do it too. So yes.
In the midst of overcoming these challenges and proving ourselves and working just as hard, if not harder, to prove ourselves, we accomplish so much. And so, Vivica, what about you? What is your proudest accomplishment while working in this industry?
I would have to say actually just moving out of my comfort zone, which was the office. I'm financial. I'm used to paperwork, and I'm used to being the right hand to five different people. So actually learning to separate myself from my former position to my current position, that's probably the best thing I've ever done for myself in this industry because um, not saying that anybody else's unit is any different, but mine is for I have a large Hispanic population at my account, and they became very dependent on me to do certain things for them. So as I transitioned out of my old position, I had to train someone else to be that person for them, it wasn't an easy task. So for me, that was probably the best thing I ever did for myself was to learn to separate myself. Although I still help out, but I had to learn to separate myself so I could focus on the job that I had to do. So that's
So you're so taking
taking
the time for your growth, your own growth and development. That's amazing. Aslam, what about you? Your proudest moment or accomplishment within this industry?
Um, I think hearing positive and encouraging um, comments from my peers, and knowing that if somebody has an issue, they know that they can easily come to me and easily communicate with me, knowing that I'm gonna help them in any way I can, and even if I can't help them, I'm gonna point them to the person who can help them. That makes me really happy.
That is awesome. So, Tequila and Najette, I'll ask you the same question. Your proudest moment. We'll start with Tequila.
My proudest moment is basically, I think, where I am today, the knowledge that I have learned from all the great many chefs that I have been around. And I think they have really molded me to be the person, the chef that I am today. So that's my proudest moment.
That's awesome. And so, as we close out this episode, I think it would be really awesome, just really great, if you all could share some wisdom, some advice with someone, a woman who is just starting out in this industry, just starting her career. We'll start with Aslam. What piece of advice would you give to a young woman?
I think hospitality industry is a very demanding industry. So when they're going into that, they should know that. And also having the balance between your personal life and your career is a must. And for me, the most important thing is being positive, I think, coming to work and finding something to smile about that day. And I believe smiling is infectious, and just make each other, when you smile, somebody and they smile back at you. So that's my I think that's one thing that I should tell everybody.
Okay, there's a lot of wisdom in what you just said, because this industry is not for the faint. It is a very demanding industry. And so finding something to smile about each and every day, that is amazing advice. Vivica, what about you? What piece of advice would you share?
Sky's the limit. Just don't think that just because you start in one position that you don't have the opportunity to move up. You can work hard. You can, you know, show the initiative that you can do this. Although that you're a woman, My whole team is women, from the FSD to the chef to the retail manager to the catering manager. We are a full women team at Lincoln University, and we get it done. And don't believe because they call us the fairer sex that we're weak. I believe we're the stronger sex. We deal with way more than what men have to deal with every day. And even to piggyback off what Aslam said, I'm not a parent, but kudos to all of you guys that are parents out there, because right now it's a struggle out there in the world, especially with your kids being home. And like Aslam said, you got to worry about what's going on with your kids. And just like you said, Marlitha, it's a demanding field. It's a lot. And just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you can't do it. I believe we're going to do it 10 times better. Just don't give up. I thought to be honest, I thought I was going to be an office manager for life. I was okay with it. Don't get me wrong. But, when the opportunity came and it knocked, I opened the door and, I stepped out of my comfort zone. Don't get me wrong. You're nervous, you're scared. But, I believe as women, that's what we go through every day when we wake up and walk out the door, because we don't know what's going to come at us. So just don't give up. Give it all you got.
Because there is so much knowledge and wisdom in what you just shared. And I think that we can all agree that you just should not give up. And you are proof of that, not giving up and reaching for the stars, if you will, or reaching for more. And so I think that is great advice. And I love how you share that your entire team is women and how you all get it done every single day. I love that. Tequila, what piece of advice would you share with someone just starting out in their career?
Well, I have a couple of things, okay?
Okay.
First, before you go through that door, you discover yourself. You be ready, be consistent, push yourself out of your comfort zone, learn from your mistakes, and never, ever, ever throw in the towel.
I love that. I think you piggybacked well off of some points that both Aslam and Vivica made, and I think that is amazing. What stood out to me in particular was being consistent. What about y'all? What did y'all take from what Tequila shared?
Definitely be consistent.
Definitely.
That's the only way you're gonna make it. The only way you're gonna
Yes,
make it.
that is
Especially as a
amazing advice.
manager. It's the only
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Tequila. And Najette, you are back with us. We want to know, what piece of advice would you share with a woman who is just starting out in this industry?
So women in the hospitality business, they need to show themselves that they are capable of the job that they are doing, and it comes along with their integrity and their knowledge, as well as being strong in every situation that comes across to them, because every problem should have a solution, and it shouldn't be a situation that they are going to be intimidated if they didn't know how to solve a situation. As long as they are trying hard and they are doing their best, so they can improve their operation.
I agree. Thank you for that, Bridget. You all provided such amazing advice, that I think that anyone could use, whether they're just starting out in their career or whether they're in the middle or towards the end of their career. I think that everything that you all said is applicable to every woman, and to everyone, really. And so as we get ready to close, again, I want to thank you all for your time. Thank you again for such amazing advice from such inspiring women. And thank you, viewers, for joining us. This has been another episode of Chef Talk, and we'll see you soon.